Hi everyone, I'm Sakshi Sinha from ACM, and in this video I'll be explaining you the basics of Dart, like the variables and data types and OOPs. So in Dart we have this term called type inference. That is, you don't have to explicitly define the data type of a variable. It is determined automatically. So when I'm writing var name is equal to ACM, it is automatically determined that name variable is of type string. Similarly, when you write var count is equal to 5, it's automatically determined that the data type of count is integer. So let us now study about strings. So they are a sequence of characters. And how do you create a string? You use the keyword string, and then you write the name of the variable in which you're going to store the string, and then your string in double quotes. And then there are a lot of functions in strings, like for concatenating strings, you can use the plus operator. So what it will do, like in this variable, personalized greeting, when you're writing hello plus name plus exclamation mark, hello and name and exclamation mark will get concatenated. They will get added up. But notice that name is not in double quotes. So it's not a string, it's a variable that's holding a string. So in place of name, Alice will be replaced and we will have hello Alice and exclamation mark in the personalized greeting variable. And then you have this string interpolation, string length. You can go through all of these functions. So let us now study about sets. So they are a collection of unique elements. In this example, we have var colors is equal to red, blue, and green, and we have different functions like colors dot add yellow. The name is self-explanatory. It's adding yellow to the set colors, and colors dot remove blue is removing blue from the set. So now in here, bool is a type of data type which returns true or false. So bool contains red is equal to colors dot contains red. So this means that does color contain red? The answer will be true or false because the data type here is bool. So in the set we have red, so the answer that we are getting in the debug console is true. And then for string color in colors, print color. So what this is doing, so this is a for loop. For loop iterates through the set. So it will print every color in this set. And notice that we had added yellow and removed blue. So when we are printing colors, we are having red, green, and yellow. So this is how set works. This is how iterating through a set works in the functions like add and remove. So lists are similar to sets, but the major difference is sets is a collection of unique elements. In lists, you can have duplicate elements. So now creating a list, you're using the var keyword. Your numbers is the name of the variable in which you're going to store the list. And then you write your list in square brackets. So now accessing the elements when you're writing numbers in and in square brackets, you're writing 0. So what 0 here is, it's the index number. What is an index number? It's a position assigned to every element in the list. Like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The index starts from 0. The index always starts from 0. So when I'm accessing 0, I'm actually accessing the first element, and that is 1. So when I'm writing numbers 0, I'm accessing 1. And when I'm trying to print first number, the output will be 1. You have it here. See. And then modifying the elements is the same thing. You just have to access the elements using the index position, and then whatever operations you perform, that will be shown in your debug console. So when I'm writing numbers square bracket 1 is equal to 6, I am accessing the element at the index number 1. And what is index number 1? That is the second position. So at where the second position where it was originally 2, I am assigning 6 to it. So now when I'm printing the list, that is when I'm iterating through the list, I'm getting 1, 6, 3, 4, 5. Why? Because in place of 2, we have assigned 6 now. And then the same things, numbers.add, numbers.remove, if we are using the function add 7, in the numbers list, 7 is getting added, and when you're trying to remove 4, 4 will be removed. Now talking about maps, so maps are basically a key value pair. Like here you have Alice colon 90. So Alice is the key and 90 is the value the key is holding. So how do you create a map? You use the keyword map and in brackets you write string. Here you're writing string comma int. What does that mean? String is the data type of your key. That is Alice, Bob and Charlie. You can see all of them as strings. And int is the data type of your value. And then you have the variable of maps, and then in the curly brackets you write the key value pair. So now when I'm trying to access Alice, that is the key. What we are getting as the output, the value that the key is holding, the value that is assigned to Alice, and that is 90. So output here will be 90. Now when I'm iterating through the map, we are using the for each function, and there you're printing the key and the value it is holding. So we are getting this key value pair: Alice 90, Bob 85, Charlie is 78. Now coming to a very important topic. So functions, as the name suggests, they are a block of code that perform a function. So there's a way of writing a function, the way of creating a function. The first word here, double, suggests that the value that the function is going to return is of type double. What does that mean? Your function is a block of code. It will perform different operations, different operations inside it, and the value that it will return, will be of data type double. And then here division is the name of your function, and then you have some arguments here. So your function is receiving two arguments and their name is 1 and 2 and they are of data type double. So this is how you create a function, and then inside the curly braces you write what your function is doing. So we have var result is equal to 1/2, that is we are dividing 1 by 2, and then you are returning the result. Result is of data type double. And where are you returning it? So in the main function where you call your function that you have created, that is where your result value is returned. Like you are having this print message function, you're calling this in the main function. So what happens, the control flow goes to print message function that you have created, and then it will print hello world. Let me just clear it. Yeah. So it will print hello world. But notice that here you're not returning anything. You're directly printing hello world. So what should be your data type now? In this case, you had double. In this case, we are writing void. Void suggests that your function is not returning anything. Like in this case also, void print name, you are receiving a string name. So, like in the previous function, print message, you're not receiving anything, you're not returning anything. So in the brackets, you're not writing anything, no arguments. But here, although you are not returning anything, but you are receiving an argument. So here, while calling the function print name, you have to send an argument to call that function. So here you are sending there, and then when you are printing that, you're using $sign and in curly braces name. So this is not a string. It's a variable that's holding a string. So hello there will be printed. So now we'll study about the next important topic, that is the concept of OOPs. Here we'll study about classes and their members and constructors, objects and so on. So here you are creating a class using the keyword class, and then you are creating an object of the class. What is an object? Object is the instance of a class, and classes are the blueprints or templates for defining the structure and behavior of objects. For example, here you have the class Daft Punk, and here all these three are the members, the fields of the class. And then you're creating the object of the class. Why? To access those members. How do you access those members? The formation year, debut album, was best band. You cannot directly access them. You need an object for that. So when I'm writing Daft Punk object and using the dot operator and then the field name, I am directly accessing the particular field. So Daft Punk object formation year is directly pointing to the formation year field of the class Daft Punk using the object. So when I'm printing Daft Punk was formed in and the $sign and in curly braces this expression, it is pointing to 1993. Their debut album was $sign and in the braces you have this expression which is pointing to homework. So this is how classes work. This is how objects work. So now we're going to study about constructors. So constructors are functions that run when the object is initialized. So here we have the class music band, and here we have the fields for the class music band, and then this is your constructor. So when you're making the object of the class, notice when you're here, you're making the object of the class, you need to pass in the values. Because the constructor is demanding for the values here. If I maybe remove this, you are getting an error. You cannot create an object of the class until unless you fulfill the demands of your constructor. So, and now you can in the same way access your fields of the class. You're using the object and object name and using the dot operator, and then you are accessing the function, whatever property of the class you want to access. So till now we have studied about the members of the class, the objects and constructors. So in the previous example, we had some variables, they had some value and they were the properties of the class. Likewise, we can have a method of the class. Method function in the earlier part of the video I had taught about functions. So the same thing here, we can have a function of the class and we access it in the same way we access the variables. So mex here is the object of the class, and using that we are accessing its properties. So the person mex.name will give me the value of the value we are sending to Meghraj. So the person Meghraj is. So here this is an expression. This is a ternary operator. You can study about a lot of operators, unary, binary, ternary. This is a ternary operator, and how does this work? This is your condition. Mex before the question mark is your condition. Mex dot is adult. So if the condition is true, the expression before the colon will be executed. If the condition is false, the expression after the colon will be executed. It's simply like if and else. This is your condition, and if the condition is true, this will be executed, and if it's false, this will be executed. So what is mex dot adult and parentheses here? Notice that this is a name because this is a variable because it does not have parentheses. Here we have parentheses. It indicates that we are calling a function. So we are calling a function is adult from the mex class. So what is it returning? Age greater than equal to 18. So it will return true or false depending on the condition. So we are sending the value of age as 18, which means that the condition is true. So is adult function will return true, and thus this expression will be executed. So that is none, like we don't have anything here. It's an empty space. So the person Meghraj is an adult. Had it been 16, if we had sent the value of age as 16, the condition here would have been false. And so the value that this expression will return will be not. So the output would have been the person Meghraj is not an adult. Coming to the next function, that is modify by age. So we are writing mex.modify by age, and in parentheses we are sending some value. What is this? This is the object. This is the dot operator. Modify by age is the function of the class person, and here we are sending a value. Why? Because modify by age demands a value. What are we going to do with that value? We are adding that value to age. What was age? Age was the property of this class. So what happens here? When you're trying to access mex.age, it will print age plus n. After the execution of this line, when you are printing mex.age, it will print the new age, that was age plus n. So here we are getting the output as 69 years old, that is 51 plus 18. Now we'll study about static. So what does static do? When I'm writing static int 10 is equal to 10, I'm making this variable global. Global means that it's not specific to the individual object instances. Now it's global, and there's a rule associated with it that a static variable, it can be accessed only by a static function. So the function factorial here, we have to make it static, and the code here is now a bit difficult for you to understand. It's a ternary operator plus we are using recursion here. So you can create your own examples that can be that are more easy, and you can work on that. Now we are coming towards the end of the video. So let me end it by teaching you how you can create a new project. So this is your VS Code window. Go to View, go to Command Palette, and in my case it's showing Flutter new project is recently used. If it's not showing in yours, you can just type Flutter. Make sure you have everything installed, the SDK and everything for Flutter, all the extensions. Then only you'll be able to see this Flutter new project. If you're not seeing this, you can use Flutter Doctor to check if what are you missing, what haven't you installed yet. And so you go to new project, you choose application, you choose the destination. I'm choosing this only, and here you write the name of your Flutter application. So like I'm using sample, and then press enter, and it will take time to load all the files. So here, this is your main.dart, and here you will be, in the next video, we'll be explaining you all the widgets that come along with the files and how you can create your own widget. So thank you.